I'm coming here to retreat. Did I initially know that when I got here? At first I thought I was just coming for an experience, but when I got here I realized, no, you need a break, girl. It was a great place for her to thrive. So when you grow up struggling and you come to a place where you no longer have to struggle, it doesn't just go away. The fear doesn't go away.
All right, try and talk real quick.
We've been talking this whole time.
Okay. As you guys know, I'm Cameron.
Tremise.
Amirah.
And we're going to do an interview today. We're going to talk about basically experiences in Merida, why, we're just going to sit down and we're going to have a discussion. Or what was y'all's best experience in Merida?
I would say for me, maybe going to like the cenotes and stuff. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, the adventure.
That's pretty fun.
No,
can it be just Mexico in general, or can it be, or does it have to be Merida?
It can be Mexico in general, because I didn't know. I thought you just were only in Merida. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I only lived here, but since I've been here, I've visited other places. Mm-hmm. And Mexico City, the Day of the Dead, I went to Mexico City Day of the Dead last year.
That was really fun.
It was amazing. Wow. Amazing. Anybody who has not been to Mexico City for Day of the Dead, you need to go.
Yeah.
It's an experience like no other. I'm telling you, it's the food, the culture, the music, everything. The entire week, it was just amazing. It was just mind-blowing. Never experienced anything like that before.
We still got to get out to Mexico City. We've been putting it off. Our friends were like, Merida's too slow, and moved out to Mexico City, and they were like, it's like New York. Is it like New York?
Yeah. It's very much like New York.
It's very similar.
It's very much like New York in a lot of ways.
I cannot imagine New York and Mexico. I mean, it's got to be awesome. I'm going to try it out.
It's awesome.
Definitely try it out.
It's awesome.
Why? Why are you here? Why did you leave the U.S.? Like, what was your reason for leaving, I guess?
That's a great question. I get that question a lot. Like, why? And my response is almost always, why not?
That makes sense.
The opportunity arose, and I was just like, I'm gonna just go for it. I was telling you when we were coming down here, like, it was always a dream of mine, even my mom's dream for her, but she had kids, and she just had the whole situation going on where she couldn't live out all of her dreams because just life happened, and understandably so. Life happened, and she had us, and she had to take care of us. I have a lot of siblings, so all that to say, I've also, I guess I might have gotten it from her, the travel bug. Like, I love to travel, and I've always said if I ever get the opportunity to be able to work and live somewhere else in another country, I want to go for it. I want to take it. I want to do it.
Yeah.
And so during the pandemic, I saw a girlfriend of mine, or an acquaintance, I should say. We went to school together, and I saw during the pandemic she was traveling a lot. And I was just like, girl, how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? How are you able to work and travel? And, like, what job do you have? And she was like, girl, just find any remote job and you can do it. And at the time, I was working, again, in a clinic as a clinician in a dental office. So I was just like, how can I take these skills that I have and apply it to something? Or I'm going to have to go to school all over again so that I can find a job that I can do remote, because there's no way I can go from in people's mouths cleaning teeth. Like, I have to physically be in there, and to being able to do something on a computer. And I thought about it. And then that's when I started, like, training myself. And I was just like, these people at the front desk, they work on a computer. And so I'm just like, I'm going to learn and hone my skills so that one day, somehow, some way, miraculously, I'm going to get the skills that I need to be able to take that and do it remotely somehow. And so I did that. I was going to quit. I finally had found a job that I could quit. I was going to quit to move here, because I had asked the doctor. I was just like, hey, we have more staff now. You don't need me at the front anymore. Really, I'm just an office manager, and we work on a computer. I don't have to be here. So can I go remote? And he said no.
Sounds about right.
So I found another job, and I was going to quit. And then it was just like, I was nervous, and by the grace of God, like, something in him changed like 2 weeks before it was time for me to leave.
Wow.
And it went from no to, all right, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to let you go ahead and work remote. And initially, I'm just like, well, I'm going to just go straight back to Atlanta because I was in Maryland. And I was just like, well, I'm going to just go straight back to Atlanta. And then I really sat and I thought about it. I'm like, girl, this is something that you have dreamed of to be able to work remote and go anywhere. And I was just like, think bigger. Think bigger. Where can you go? And so we came to Mexico. That was our first stop. We were only supposed to be here 3 months.
Oh, okay.
And
6 months.
6 months. And then we were going to go off to Spain.
Oh, okay.
But we got here and we fell in love with Merida and we stayed.
Yeah.
And we've been here 2 years.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you first got here?
13?
13,
Yeah,
I think I
okay.
was 13.
Yeah.
So how was like the experience of just coming to Mexico at that age?
You know, I don't really know. It was nice, like, first getting here and arriving, I was like, oh, okay, this is new. This is very unique. Very unique.
You were nervous at first.
I was really nervous.
What do you think was gonna happen?
I have no clue. I thought I was going to be here alone. I thought I wasn't going to find any friends. But, like, in my mind, I had, like, a picture of, like, me and my mom walking the town with our, like, coffee in our hand. And, like, the sun was setting, and it was really nice. So I think that thought really just kept me going.
That's cool. That's cool.
I'm just happy she trusted me. And I was like, because I was scared too. I'm not even going to lie.
Oh,
I was
snap.
so nervous. I was
What do you
just
think?
like,
What do you think was gonna happen?
I don't know.
Also, everybody was, like, saying we can get our hairs chopped
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Why does everybody say
Everyone
that?
said we were going to get our
Why
hands
does
chopped
everybody
off.
say that? I swear, I just heard that
Some of my
today.
family members were upset. Oh my God, they were so mad. They were
Wow.
like, "What are you doing? You're gonna ruin your daughter's life." And like some of them were just like, "It fits you because you come up with something. I come up with something in my head. I'm just like, all right, I'm do it.
Yeah.
You know, no matter
I mean,
how much
that's
space.
good. That's
Yeah,
good. I think
so-
we were talking about that a little bit when we were talking about like the homeschool because we talked a little bit before about kind of what you think and how you think about things. But like, can you give me like a timeline of where things were? So you said COVID is when you kind of got the realization like, okay, I want to do something different because I see somebody. And then what was that like? Was that 2 years ago? Yeah, about 2 years ago. And then so you started in Merida or you were in other parts of Mexico?
I started in Merida, but
Okay.
I visited other parts.
What other parts did you go to?
So I've been to, where have we been? Cancun. We've been to
Cancun.
Playa.
Okay.
I thought I wanted to live in Playa. I thought I
Oh,
did.
yeah. That was our first destination. We were going to live in Playa.
And I
Why?
quickly realized, I was like, yeah, I don't want to live here.
What happened? What's
It's
wrong with
too
Playa?
touristy, maybe. It didn't feel like
It is
Mexico.
touristy.
It didn't feel like Mexico. I'm just like, this ain't Mexico. You know, like,
feel you.
it was just...
Playa is
Nah,
different.
it's
Playa,
different.
and that's the thing. Like those places are all different. Like Tulum is different. Playa is different. Merida is definitely different. Progresso
Oh,
is different.
yeah.
All these places they have their own kind of like feel. Like I feel like Merida is more of like a family city.
It's very family.
Yeah.
I think that's what drew me to it. I think that's what drew me to it, honestly. It was a great place for her to thrive, I thought. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is it. Like,
Yeah.
the community here, you guys, the community, the black
community,
community is
yeah, it's
amazing.
solid, it's
You
solid.
guys are cool. You know what I mean? Like, it was just welcoming. Like, the first day we got here. Was that the first day? The first or second day, and we immediately had something to do. It was like in the month, like, okay, we're going to a meetup. Like, that's what we're doing. Like,
so your friends, as far as like being
Like a weekend.
being alone and having friends, like, was it easy? Like, what was that?
Absolutely
You said-
not.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Like, the whole friend aspect is hard because first you gotta make them. That's the first thing you gotta do. You gotta build up the courage to walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, you wanna be my friend?"
That's true.
And then they could be like, "No," and then run away.
It could be like no. I think that's a
be
lifelong
like, no,
thing.
run away.
I think that happens to adults too. I think so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you definitely gotta get out. Well, me personally, I have to get out of my comfort zone.
I will say though, coming here has helped grow her socially a lot. Where we thought it would have been the opposite, where she was gonna revert and go into her shell. She actually has more friends here than she ever did, even when she was in public school.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's-
So she.
I had major social anxiety
Yeah.
before we came here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think she really did truly find her people here.
Yeah.
She came into her own here, for sure.
That's good.
I did find my people. I love my people.
That's
Yeah.
good. Okay. Alright, so let's talk about finding your place. How did you find this place? And like,
Funny
did you look at a few?
story.
Okay.
So first, when I got here first, which I recommend everybody do, is get an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Get an Airbnb, because where I thought I wanted to live, or the area I thought I wanted to live in, I didn't.
Good idea.
So like the first place, like it was beautiful aesthetically, like the townhouse. Remember, like aesthetically, it was beautiful.
There first.
Who did it? Oh no, the very first one. That one was terrible. We knew we wasn't going there.
Oh, snap. Was it the area? Was it the place? Like, what was it that made you not want to stay there?
It was the apartment.
Okay.
The hot water did not work. Like everything they told you about, like no hot water in Mexico. I thought that was our first place, and it had no hot water.
That was our first impression.
First impression, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't know, we can do this."
Dang.
I was in the shower screaming the whole time. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I was like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." Like
Yeah, the cold
it
water.
was a
is
get in,
issue.
get out. Okay, hit the pits and grits and go.
I'm just gonna hold on because it just had me laughing. You said hit the pits and grits. Yeah.
Yeah, so the townhome, we loved the aesthetic of everything. The townhome was perfect. The landlord was beautiful. She was very nice. We had a cleaning lady come every week. It was perfect.
That's
Perfect
good.
pricing, $1,000. However, the area, I'm going to say it in the nicest way possible, it was very local. And me and my Americanized taste,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
it was like, no. And we had a couple visitors.
Oh, what happened?
Oh
Some,
yeah. I just stayed in my mom's room one night.
we had a lot of visitors because, yeah, the realtors and stuff, the creepy crawly visitors.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, I remember there was like a lizard. We had just came back
Not
in.
even just a lizard, the roach, bro. Remember the roaches that came
Oh
through
yeah,
the
the roaches came through the shower
Oh yeah.
drain.
They swimming in there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge roaches.
My
not.
mom wanted me to help her, but I was just recording.
She was recording me screaming, hollering. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. I swear. I'm not even embarrassed. It's hilarious because I'm just like, ah.
It makes sense.
Hollering.
I mean, oh my gosh. One night, this is the worst situation I had. I tell people I battle them. Like I have a book and I throw it, boom, and I hit them off the wall or whatever. This one roach, I was like, man, it's gonna leave me alone. It's gonna be good. And my daughter is down there with the camera. I was like, I'm about to hit it with the book, just record. Before I could get the book, I had the raid in my hand. It flies off the wall, and it's coming at me in this zigzag pattern, like I'm hitting it.
Everybody
And I'm
dying.
backing up, and my daughter's getting hit with everybody getting hit
With
with
the
raid.
raid.
And then it's like fluttering, and it finally hits, and it just takes off.
Oh
And
god.
it's still, I mean, this is supposed to be instant kill
Yeah,
raid.
no.
Yeah, no.
These
guys
things
out
are
here,
strong.
solid.
They're
Sucks.
strong.
Solid.
Raid sucks.
We have raid too. They're strong.
I remember
Solid
sprayed
roaches.
raid on a lizard before.
I know.
Oh, no.
At that time, we sure did.
Everything. Every time I kept, we had the wind.
We
We had Windex. We had Lysol. We had raid.
Just spray it with something.
We had every
not-
chemical cleaning product you could think of.
Oh my
we
God.
had to do something.
Okay.
But
All right, so the roaches was there, and
the
then
roaches was there. It was very local, which was a good and a bad thing at the same time because I got to get a little bit of the culture. I mean, the mariachi bands would just play all night,
Every night.
every
That's
night,
fire.
and it was actually lit though. I wasn't mad at it. I loved it. I would open the window just so I can hear it. Like it
Yeah.
was beautiful. And then they would do fireworks. We do fireworks here, but not as much as they did. They did fireworks for no reason.
that's fire.
And then, but I got to experience like the fruterias and the local grocery stores and the flea markets that they would have, and it was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That part of it, but it wasn't for me. So then, fast forward, we stayed in a couple Airbnbs. So we stayed in the Adamant,
By La Isla.
by La Isla,
Like
La
across the
Isla.
lake.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
the
about.
big tall one with
yeah.
the face thing or ID thing that you gotta get in. Yeah, that one. So we stayed there. I loved it. They actually had a little bit of a roach problem too, but They had a little bit of a bug problem, but they were so small. And I actually did try to get into that apartment still, even with that, I still tried to get into that apartment, but it just wasn't meant to be because the person who was supposed to be showing the apartment, he just kept canceling. And I was like, you know what, never mind. Must just not be for me. Yeah. So I ended up staying in an Airbnb that was, you can see it from our apartment building. It's literally right over there. And as I was staying there, I was looking out the window one day and I saw this building. And I was just like, oh, look, look, Amirah, it's another apartment building. Let's just walk over there one day, because when we go for our morning walks or whatever, or afternoon walks, we could just walk over there. So I walked over there, walked over here. I saw that as I was walking, I could see the gym from the street. And I was just like, oh, this is gonna be nice. And so I came and checked in to see, checked the lease in to see if they had openings. They were like, yeah, you know. I came and toured it. The day I toured it, I was like, I don't know, I'll think about moving next month. And then by the time I got back to the Airbnb and I really sat on it and I thought about it, I said, that feels like it's my house. That's fine. I want it. And so I applied for it that day.
Man, okay.
That day, yep.
Okay.
Dropped my 3 deposits.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
24,
oh, I know.
24,000 pesos.
Yeah.
What that's like.
Gosh.
That was
having to get, and you got it out the ATM?
Yeah, that was quite a bit, honey. That was a lot.
Yeah, that's rough.
The fees. From then on out, I told my landlord, I said, listen, you would never get me to pay you cash ever.
Yeah.
Give me your clave number, whatever,
transfer.
and I will be transferring you from here on out.
Okay, so let's talk about positive and negatives, and then let's get into the dating.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, so
that's gonna be short.
All right, so let's talk about dating first. Let's go into the dating. So what is that like? And this is what I mean. So you're single out here. What has been your experience, and is it been something that you like initially started, or was it something you got here, you want to settle in, and then you started? Like, how has that been?
No.
How'd that come about?
When I got here, I was in a completely different headspace. I'm gonna be honest. When I got here, it was more like I'm coming here to retreat, if that makes sense. I needed to retreat. I needed to reset. Did I initially know that when I got here? At first, I thought I was just coming for experience, but when I got here, I realized, no, you need a break, girl. Like, you needed this. This was something that was necessary. So when I got here, I was not ready to date.
Okay.
At all. But after the first year of coming here, it takes about a year to decompress from the United States. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man.
It takes at least a year to like.
Yeah.
Really reset and reevaluate your life.
Hey, I already know.
So yeah, so about a year in, I'm just like, okay, I think I'm ready to start dating, and so I got on the Bumble. Everybody said get on Bumble. Some of my girlfriends here, they were like going on dates and stuff from people from Bumble, and then they said Facebook dating and stuff.
Expats or locals?
Expats were dating on Bumble.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. The locals, I forgot what my last text said. She uses another app too. But I forgot what the local one was. But they're more so into looking for expats. So
okay.
Yeah. So I didn't mind dating an expat or whatever. It wasn't like a big deal. But that I couldn't date anyone. No shade to the black community, but I can't date anyone in the black community because I feel like the single black men have already dated all of the single black women in the community.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Come to find out, these guys been a little passed around.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I ain't throwing nobody names.
No names.
No names. I'm not saying, but I heard y'all guys been passed around a few times.
Just tell us like it is. Exactly how it is.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense, and and I can see how that can be because it is a tight knit community.
It is.
It's very, very small. So
very small. And there's a lot of families here. Like what we said, it's a family community. A lot of families. So it's not a ton of single people. A ton of single women. Not a ton of single men. So if you're into the ladies, they're here. But if but if you want a man, they ain't here.
Yeah, I think that's honestly like a big thing kind of in a lot of the places that we go to. Most of the time people travel, it's like coupled and not. Yeah. It's like individuals. And then among those individuals, like 50% you just got to throw out just off principle alone. And then out of the 50%, it's like you still kind of got to sort things. So that's a lot. It's probably,
Yeah, it's a lot. So then you're left with dating like the locals, which I don't mind either. However, you have to be careful, and I'm not saying this to be negative, but you have to be careful for some of the locals really want to date American women. There's two things, right? If you're Black American, they're like fetishizing you, fetishizing you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, oh, I've never had that. This thing here coming through, baby. We exotic over here. We regular in the U.S., but we very exotic when we come over here.
Definitely too.
You know what I mean? So they're just like, oh, I've never had that, and they want to experience that. If you catch what I'm saying, they want to experience that,
right?
But they don't want to marry that.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not going to be somebody that take home mom. And then if just American in general, white or Black or indifferent or whatever color you are, or nationality or race, then you have the ones who want to marry you for the visa. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I did have that experience. Now, granted, not everybody's like that. Not all the men here want to go back to the U.S. That is not always the case. So I don't want that rhetoric to be put out there.
Yeah.
However, there are some who do. There are some who do. And I had an experience with that. And come to find out, that guy ended up even being married. Not only was he trying to get to the States, he's like, oh, I need help, I need a job. But he's like... He was married, come to find out. I found out through social media because for whatever crazy reason, he sent me a friend request on Instagram, and I accepted it, and then boom, there's his wife. So I'm just like, what? What was your intentions here, sir?
Interesting.
So that was terrible.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and then and then also like when you go out, the guys don't typically approach. They might assume because you don't speak Spanish, maybe, perhaps, maybe that's why they don't approach, but. A local friend of mine said in general, they don't really approach, and it's very.
That's interesting.
Cliquey here. I won't say cliquey. They are very tight knit again because it's a family place. Yeah. Majority of the people that they talk to are people that they grew up with. You know what I mean? So if they went to school here, most likely they're going to marry their high school sweetheart. You know what I mean? So, you know, they're not really fond of like the outside. As far as penetrating, like dating and stuff, they're not very.
I see what you mean.
Fond of that.
Yeah, it's not. I see what you mean.
It's not easy.
Yeah. And
then the single guys who might be interested, they go out in groups and they have the girls and the guys together, which is great. It's awesome. They all hang out together, but you don't know who's dating who. So you don't want to accidentally approach a man and his wife or girlfriend is there. So you don't know. It's not like how in the U.S. the fellas go out by themselves and you can easily approach somebody and and not offend someone because their wife ain't standing right there beside them or whomever.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they can the guy would be able to be like, oh no, my wife is here. No.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell here.
Okay, that makes sense. So dating, a little tough. Merida, not the place.
Not the place for that.
Okay.
Merida is not the place for that. Maybe Playa del Carmen is better for that. But
I think, you know what? I would think Playa would be better.
Playa is better for dating. However, you may end up in a long distance situation because it's very touristy. So people are in and out of Playa a lot more.
You're right.
People are in and out of Playa a lot more.
You're right. Overall, positive or negative for Merida?
Dating, negative.
Okay, but I mean general for just everything. Just everything. Like if we had to 1 through 10. Your experience with Merida, what would it be?
It would be a 10.
10.
Even with the dating.
Even with the dating,
even
solid
with the
10.
dating not being good, solid 10.
That's good. And then as far as traveling with the kid and your experience, I want to know more about what kind of things, if you had someone who was traveling with the kid as well, what kind of things would you tell them? Lizards.
No, I don't know. That might have been a bat. it might have been a bird. It's a little early for the bats. But anyway, I'm sorry.
The bats will be here.
The bats will be here, yeah.
So more so both of y'all. Traveling with the kid and traveling as a kid. Just travel. Or teen.
You want, a tip or what do you want?
Tips, yeah.
I don't know, there's no tips. I'm a pretty great person and child.
Don't travel with a teenager. Just don't have a teenager. Throw the whole teen away. No. If she was younger, if she was younger, I almost feel like it would be, in some ways, be easier.
Okay.
In some ways, because when they're older, you do have to worry about they need to develop like social skills. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a social. They need to have their own community.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Merida here has a shout out to Janita Lau.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever interviewed her. I don't know if you ever interviewed her, but if you haven't, you need to get her on here because she is the mecca of the teen club. She's the owner of the teen club.
Her.
And she's amazing. She's amazing. She's an amazing person in general.
All right, so you next. Janita, we coming for you. You next.
But yeah. So I'm so happy she has that community for her. So she was able to jump right into that community as soon as we got here. That was fun. So definitely finding them a community so that they can feel like they belong too. So it's not like I'm just dragging her along.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
That was
giving them like a life separate than you. That makes sense. And I think you kind of do that too with all ages, but probably more so
because they already have their established community wherever they were. Most of the time, you know what I mean? They already have their set of friends, or they already have they're in their ways. They have everything that they love. They're leaving something. It's not most of the time they're leaving something that they love and that they're used to. You know what I mean? To come to some place that's totally different, and you're asking them to do a lot, essentially. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So that making sure that you have their educational plan lined up, like what you want to do.
Yes.
As far as their education, whether or not you want them to be fully immersed in the school, will they be able to handle it? Do they have any skills in Spanish at all? So because remember, especially as a teen, if they're not already fluent in Spanish or in another language, now they're coming into high school doing high school level stuff, and not only are they doing high school level stuff, it's already difficult, but then they're doing it in another language. So that's very hard. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's very hard.
That makes sense. Is it very difficult?
Spanish? Well, she's homeschooled, so.
Yeah. So you're not doing anything in a different language?
No.
Everything.
We'll have a Spanish class.
Okay. How is learning Spanish been?
Not difficult, not easy. So like right in between.
Right in between. Makes sense. Shoot, it's hard for me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's easier learning it, but like trying to remember it, that's hard. Trying to remember it, that's harder.
Yeah. So many words to conjugate, so much stuff. Yeah. How about you? How you Spanish?
How was Spanish, Mir?
I don't know. I feel like we both understand more than we can speak.
Yeah, we definitely both understand way more than we can speak. I probably speak more than her. But for sure, just because we already have had an introduction into Spanish, because she is half Hispanic, but so we kind of have the familiarity of it, so it wasn't as daunting or scary for us. So Spanish doesn't scare us. You know what I'm saying? It won't scare us all. We understand what you're saying. It's just the response.
Yes.
That we struggle with.
And that's the way it starts off too. Why are you leaving?
For her and for me.
Don't put this on me.
The face. No, girl. How was you gonna learn how to drive? So she's ready. We both are in two different stages of life now. As we already discussed, like I'm ready to date. I am ready to date intentionally for marriage now, and and then because I'm not having any success here, I'm just like I need to go where the odds are more so in my favor a little bit. Not saying it's gonna be easy in the States, because it's definitely not. However, I have proximity to different areas that I can easily travel to. And then also we need to get her started back in like driving. She's ready to start driving. She's ready to start getting her first job, like doing just the normal
I get what you're saying, like the
stuff.
developmental stuff.
She's about to be 16. In 2 years she'll be 18, ready for we're doing dual enrollment for college. So she's gonna be, by the time she graduates high school, she's gonna have her associates. And so we got to start preparing her for the real world.
I get that.
Yeah, so
that 16 to 18 is a quick jump. it's a hop and a skip. It's
like stone's throw away.
Yep.
It's a stone's throw away for real, and it'll be here before we know it. And I don't want her to have to be thrusted into the world unprepared.
Yes. I was gonna say, how do you feel about that? Because when's your birthday? Because you just turned 16, or you like?
Not turning 16.
Oh, okay. So you're not. Yeah. So you got time. I mean, it's a 2-year, like solid 2 years. It's not.
It's
like
a solid 2
2
years.
years.
No. It's a solid 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
So we just had to. We going back down to take advantage of the winter move-in rates.
Okay.
You know, it's cheaper to move in the winter, y'all. Tip.
That is a good tip, man. Yeah, that's cool. It's good because I was talking to you about that, and I think it's interesting too the way you've like taken the homeschool approach, and you said you've been consistent with it, the same program.
Same
so
program.
that's unique in itself, and then also you saying like, okay, I'm moving forward, and you giving and providing this experience for your daughter, because most people do not have this, and barely even leave the city that they're born in.
Yeah.
So for you to now take your daughter to another country and give her that experience, it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I think more people seeing that, it's helpful. But then also, were there any difficulties
with
traveling and leaving? Family, anything?
No. Well, family, of course, they said whatever they said, but I wasn't thinking about that. But like, they ain't never been able to stop me, honey. Mm-hmm.
But like you alone, like you saying, like you're looking for someone else to date as well. But like, has it been tough, like you having to lead and do things by yourself? Or are you good? That's what's happening.
No, it's been tough. So I have started dating like in the States, so traveling back and forth, trying to date.
Oh, okay.
That was really hard. That was really hard, actually.
Wow. Traveling and dating, like back and forth, like trying to find someone and then come back.
Like I'm flying to the States to go on a date.
Wow.
That was a very expensive date.
And they better go well. They better go well. Well,
that fizzled out, so I won't say it was a waste of money, but like, it was a lot. But yeah, so that was been difficult, and then work, because I do work. Mm-hmm. I am employed. I'm not. I wish I was like maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming you do full time. YouTube full time. I don't know. I wish I was a full time YouTuber, but I'm not, and so I do have to go work and train people every now and then. So I did have to travel back and forth, which did get quite expensive as well, especially when they started cutting flights down, because they have been cutting flights down, especially like direct flights. Like Merida no longer has direct flights to Atlanta anymore.
Wow.
Actually, Atlanta really doesn't have many direct flights to anywhere in Mexico. I'm come to find out.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of times I have to take it's always so long travel days, or I have to go to Cancun, which is another expense with the ADO bus, which is not very expensive, but when you're doing it for two people, and it's just you doing it for two people,
I see how that can.
that it can really add up. So I'm just like, okay, I might need to flip this around. Mm-hmm. I might need to live in the States and come here when I'm ready for my retreat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As far as schooling for her, any difficulties for that? No, that's been pretty consistent. Mm-hmm. I love that we're homeschooled, so I would definitely recommend, like, and for anyone, even if you do plan on coming here to enroll your children in school, you need to consider how often or how frequent you're going to be going back to the States or traveling in general, because they're going to be missing school time here. It'll be the same thing. They'll like, and the breaks are different here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They don't have all of the same breaks. Like, it's no such thing as Thanksgiving in Mexico. They don't have a Thanksgiving break. Right. You know what I mean? So if you go home for Thanksgiving, your child is going to be missing school. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
I see. That makes sense.
It's something for you to consider. Yeah, it's something for you to consider.
Well, I commend you on all of it. I think that's great. I'm excited. I'm happy that we met. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. If you wanna say anything else.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think I will definitely say, no matter what your circumstances are in life, whether you're a single mom, because trust me, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to tell you how I could get here. I wouldn't have had it. So, you asked me earlier what was I scared of, because I said I was nervous, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I was nervous because I had never been in a position where I could always make sure I could take care of me and her. It's always been very difficult. So when you grow up struggling for the majority and you come to a place where you no longer have to struggle, it doesn't just go away. The fear doesn't go away of the bottom falling out. You're so used to the bottom falling out that when you come to another place, it's like, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. You have to retrain your thought process and remind yourself and tell yourself you're going to be okay. So if anything, the most difficult thing is your mindset. It's changing your mindset.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're right.
Just making sure you know you're okay. I'm telling you, that decompression and resetting your mind thing is real.
Oh yeah, I already know. Stay scarred me. I don't even want to get stay scarred me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially as a single mom. As a single mom with no assistance, no help. It's hard. It's hard. So if you're a single mom out there, you could do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I had her at 17 years old. So, yeah.
Dang.
Had her at 17. I was
Hats
pregnant
off to you.
Yeah, so.
That's off. All right, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. We don't get that many thumbs downs, man. I mean, there's consistently like one person who gives us one, but also comment. Let us know, like, oh, the audio is trash. I don't like what you was talking about. I feel kind of funny about you saying this. Let us know. Feedback's always good. But I hope y'all enjoy. Y'all have a nice day, and yeah.